sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions. It is vital to rely on news platforms with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York Parrot, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your products and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York Parrot, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the website they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York State and around the world. Advertising on our news site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York Parrot is born to prosperously speak tomorrow for the voiceless.
Greetings to all my audience around the world. My name is Sheikh Musa Drammeh. I am the host of the Community Organizer Show on Parrot TV, live from New York City. Our executive producer behind the scene is Mutiu Olawuyi. So today, in light of our continuation in informing you about our activities locally, regionally, and universally, this show will enable us to communicate with you, the audience, so that you will be able to follow what we are doing and be informed of our priorities. And perhaps if you find it to be beneficial, then you can continue to watch our show and to promote it and to invite other like-minded people. I am, cognizant of the fact that there are thousands and thousands of shows, but there's only one community organizer show, which is ours. And I am extremely honored and excited, for this platform that has been extended by Parrot TV, one of the most formidable platform that has been enabling people like me, to voice their opinions and, their messages and their talents and their professionalism, not only within their localities, but globally. So Parrot TV is a great enabler, for community organizers like me. So I am, deeply indebted with, the platform that has been unveiled on our behalf. So kudos to Parrot TV. So anyway, let's get down to the business. What is the community organizer show about? Well, for those of you who have been following our activities, I would say globally, then you will come to know that we are direct talking heads. We don't sugarcoat things, and we are daring leaders. That's why we became community organizers, because we are the defenders of truth and also the champion of improving the quality of life wherever we are. We work collaboratively with all the stakeholders, whether they are political, religious, or communal, or educational, you name it. We take on tasks that requires, our leadership, requires our boldness, and requires our energy, and requires our investment, and we put together a team of stakeholders in order to utilize every stakeholder's expertise and interest. We do not fight one another. We do not belittle one another, or we do not, sideline one another. We embrace our diversities within a task before us. And that is the form of community organizing that we have developed. And we call it the wolf pack. You can call it a communal wolf pack, where we bring stakeholders that represent their respective jurisdictions. And at the end, we complete the task successfully without wasting time, without bickering with one another, or without undermining each other's expertise and abilities. So again, my name is Sheikh Musa Drammeh. I am a well-known, figure in New York region because of our long and steady and constant community organizing work. You name it, we've been there. If it's beneficial to humanity, it is important to us. And once we are in it, we are in it to see it to successful, conclusion. So we do not just jump in and jump out, or we're not sifty, or we are not emotional wrecks, or we don't do things because we just have the feeling. No, we are principled, steady, community organizing pillars in our society. And we're very grateful, to our creator for enabling us, with those characteristics, those attributes that really make us almost stand out, from the crowd. So today, Sunday in March, but most importantly, during Ramadan, Muslims all over the world are either fasting or tending to those who are fasting in their localities, meaning in their homes and communities, whether they're spouses or parents or siblings or colleagues and classmates and roommates. Right now, the world over, Muslims are observing the entire month of fasting, better known as Ramadan. And Muslims in the United States, New York region in particular, are doing the same thing. So I want to take this, momentous occasion to really send my greetings and my Ramadan Mubarak, to all my fellow Muslims who are fasting and those who cannot fast but tending, to the fasting Muslims. Again, may God accept your fasting and enable you to complete it successfully and bless you with all the benefits of Ramadan. So, and also, we are, living among people from diverse background, ethnic background, racial background, religious background. So, today, the Jewish people are observing, the occasion of Purim. And again, I am praying for the same thing for them. And I'm also showing them my solidarity. And I also wish them a successful, peaceful, and really harmonious Purim occasion. So between today, tomorrow, and yesterday. And also, the Christians and Catholics, they're celebrating, Easter celebration. And so there's so many celebrations that, usually come together, and just to show that we are one family with beautiful diversity, connected to so many different outlets, but only God is the main connector, the uniting energy connector. All of us, no matter which route we're taking, what doctrine we're following, how we practice, getting to our destinations, at the end, we are all aiming at meeting the pleasure of our common creator, whatever name that we call it. So all of you, and also, our Hindu community, they're celebrating Holi, and I'm sure there may be other religious groups that also happen to be celebrating theirs. So to my Hindu brothers and sisters, happy Holi. And again, may God give you a peaceful, harmonious, and joyous holy observance. Holy. Let us all be, in it together from a different angle. If you celebrate Ramadan or Purim or Easter or Holy or whatever else you're celebrating, let God accept it and unite our hearts, and so that we can all live peacefully in a most harmonious way possible as one gorgeous, diverse human family. None of us deserves better than the rest. None of us entitled to more security, more safety than the rest. Therefore, none of us has the license to attack or harm or hurt other people. None. Nobody has the license or justification or permission or the reasons to do it. Even the people that we disagree vehemently, we still don't have the right to harm them, to hurt them, to attack them, or to interfere with their priorities, whatever those priorities are. As long as they don't interfere with ours, we should leave them alone. And if we can help them, we help them. If not, we leave them alone so that they can, continue pursuing, their interests and following their dreams and worshiping their God and practicing their doctrine in the most harmonious way possible. That is what makes us, humans, with intelligence, to know that we're not alone, to know that we don't own it, to know that this is not exclusive to us. We are part of a very diverse part that God created. And therefore, let us rejoice that beautiful rainbow coalition, that gorgeous mosaic, so that I'm not going to be worrying about what a Christian practitioner will do, what a Jewish practitioner will do to me, what a Muslim practitioner will do to me, what a Hindu, because I know that they have my back as I have their back. Because at the end of the day, we are one family. We have common history, and then we share, common destiny. And so that is my opening for this beautiful show, accurately called community organizer. I am a lifelong community organizer. Wherever I live, the most, profound, visible thing about me is my community organizing, efforts. It is part of my DNA. I can't help it. Even if I said I'm out of it, it's not gonna last for 1 second, because it is who I am. It is what I born to do, and I promise you, it is how I die. Community organizing. And what is community organizing? One may say, is it activism? Is it just to complain? Is it just to attack other people? Or it is just to make noise? Well, I would say all of the above. All of the above, but plus. We attack where injustice is taking place. We attack those who are unjust so that we can bring justice to those who are entitled to justice. We make noise where noises need to be made, because the silence majority usually allows and gives license to a minority troublemakers, hate mongers, violent individuals, divider, people who create chaos and confusion. They're able to do it, even though their numbers are usually small, but because the majority of the people around them are silent. And that's why community organizers, we make noise, a lot of noises, so that when injustice is taking place, we make noise about it. Some of it we can fix with our hands. Others we make noise so that other people join so that we can fix it. And in other cases where we make noise, we cannot fix it. We try our best, we cannot fix it. Then let the world know that we condemn it to the strongest term. That means we're not part of it. We cannot fix it, but you cannot count us in it, because we're not part of injustice. And that is, part of the community organized. Do we attack, problems? Every single second. Because problems, if not attacked, immediately, fester on and affect everybody. That's why sometimes when there's a small, incremental growth of either dissension or division or hatred, you better stop it now. Otherwise, it'll, engulf the entire community and sometimes the entire nation. And we've seen time and time again, a small communal dispute becomes a national headache. And what becomes national headache could easily become a global headache. So the community organizers do every single thing possible to improve the quality of life in their localities and to empower their neighbors and to build bridges and to work on public safety and to work on what benefits the society and to eliminate what hurts the society. Whether we're dealing with juvenile issues or family issues or senior issues or economic development or again public safety or public health or good schools, whatever it is, we just advocate for that which is beneficial, mutually, and then we also work on preventing that which could be harmful, to people and to society. So let me briefly walk you through some of my, activism, especially since I came to the United States long time ago, over 3 decades ago. When I first came, obviously I did not speak a single word of English, but as a community organizer, sometimes you don't even have to understand the language. Your attitude is more powerful and more profound. So, when I got here, I found out that the African immigrants were having difficulties securing apartments. And I said, how come other people are getting apartments and my people have difficulties getting apartments? Well, to make the long story short, I was told that if you want to fight that, you got to go to the real estate offices because they're the one, who provide apartments and homes and whatever. And I said, what is real estate? So they describe what it is. And I asked them, where can I find one? And they direct me to one. I walked into that one that was directed to me. And I talked to the owner and I said, my people are being discriminated. With my broken little English, he could understand what I was saying. And then he told me, so what do you want to do? I said, I want to fix it. To make the long story short, with my broken, limited English vocabulary, he said, well, if you want to be a real estate agent so you can help your people, maybe that's the best thing. And I said, let's do it. To history, and to make the long story short, I became a real estate agent with a very, very limited English language, but nonetheless, my determination allowed me to attend school and actually pass the real estate license. Not far from when I came to this country because of my determination. Fast forward 4 years later, after becoming a successful real estate agent and doing real well, having so many newspapers following me and writing, my ability to walk from place to place, to list the home, sell home, whatever, with limited English language. So I said, you know what? Now there's a fast-growing Muslim populations in the United States and there's no Islamic banking. So we cannot use these riba, these interest, type of, financial instruments. We have to find a way to set up Islamic banking and whatever. Again, talk to people, they say, you're crazy. You have no background in finance, economic, banking, nothing. You're talking about banking. And again, talking to people until I met an investment banker, a Muslim one, who told me, well, if you want to, establish Islamic bank, you got to go to Wall Street. You got to know the business. Maybe you can talk to other people. And guess what happened? That's what I did. I went to Wall Street. I began calling and calling until I found a company that hired me. And I became a cold caller, account opener, and a stockbroker. At the end, I ran my own investment banking boutique on Wall Street to learn about every single thing. And from there, we organized the very first, federal credit union in New York State, the very first. Unfortunately, we had so many obstacles, but it was pre-approved, everything, even the business plan I still have. I'm just saying this to say that when you are a community organizer, the sky is the limit. So nothing can stop you. Now, from real estate to help my people get apartment, to learning about banking and investment and finance so that we can open, Islamic banking. Now come to family and marriage. In the 90s, we got married and we decided that, since we're Muslims and we're concerned about public schools and other schools that may not have the curriculum and the environment that is suitable for raising, righteous, faithful, Muslim New Yorkers, Muslim children in New York. What can we do? Well, we got to set up our school so that, when we have children, they will have Islamic school to go to, so that not only would they get their academic needs and requirements, but they will be in an environment that is Islamic, a curriculum that is Islamic, and teachers most likely who are Muslim, so that they will spend their entire time, their entire school time, around their faith, around Muslims. And that's what we did. Came to the Bronx, work with other people. We bought a building and then fixed the building, open a school. First full-time, fully accredited Muslim school in the Bronx. You know what? K to 12. Our children, the moment they were ready for pre-K, they started in our school. They graduated with honor out of our school. High school diploma from our school. I'm just saying this not to put myself in any higher degree, but just to show you what community organizing is. Because some people may think you make noise and then nothing happens. No, you get things done. So we actually established the very first accredited Islamic school in the Bronx because we are community organizers. So at least I'm just inspiring you so that when you're thinking of joining, community organizing efforts, you'll know the type of personality and the type of energy and the type of leadership and the type of commitment that is required. It's not just to talk and complain and talk and complain and blame. No, you actually get your hands dirty. And you have to be bold, have to be courageous, and you have to always study about your surroundings and study why things are happening. If they're injustice, why? If they're not economic development, why? If the schools are failing, why? If neighborhoods are fighting, why? If they're extremism, why? If there are high levels of poverty, why? If there are high levels of disease, why? And then the more you know, then the more you could be very effective tool in making change. But you cannot be an effective community organizer unless you grasp, the issues, pros and cons that you're dealing with. Because knowledge empowers you, and knowledge emboldens you, and knowledge makes you a daring change maker. Because you know for certain that this is what needs to be done, and this is how to get it done. And that is why community organizers always increase, their understanding of the issues, the history of the issue, the current issue, and the perspective of how they may be, manifested later on. If there's small percolating problems, if we don't take care of it now, how big of a headache would it be in a month, a year, whatever, and how wide of a scope the problem, will cover. All these things. So, community organize, because, when you are a doctor, you are a medical doctor. You go and then you do what doctors do. If you are a teacher, you are a teacher. You go to, the educational institution to impart knowledge. That's your job. If you're a lawyer, you are a lawyer. You practice law. But when you are a community organizer, you're everything. You are brothers, sisters, mothers, parents, teacher, doctor, lawyer, even though you have no license about anything, but you do everything. If there's a hospital that has a high level of malpractice lawsuits or high level of deaths from certain things, you say, wait a minute, let's go find out why this hospital is different from the rest. Now, you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, but because there are reports, that consistently show this hospital is a dangerous hospital with unprofessional staff, then community organizers will go to that hospital and demand change. If there's a law firm that deals with fraudulent law suit filers, I mean, there are people that file for anything falsely because some of them they're lazy and they want to make money out of nothing. Some of them they just want to abuse the system because whatever. And then we got to say, wait a minute, you got to be ethical. You got to practice, with some type of morality. You cannot just file every fraudulent lawsuit, even though you have no background in law, but you know that this is not right. So then you attack it. So I'm just giving you, if there's a, chronic low achieving schools in the community, you say, wait a minute, why this particular school is producing high levels of low achievers. What differentiates this particular school from the high achieving schools? Let's find out. And then you find out. If the elected officials who are not, competent in delivering constituent services, you say, wait a minute, why my elected officials are not competent versus the other neighborhood, stuff like that. So I'm just giving you, an overall of, the limitless, borderless, activities of community organizers. And have been doing the same thing. So now, our latest project, in our community organizing, because we have been very consistent in our peace building and public safety. This is one thing that we have never, no matter which task we take on, public safety and peace building have always been consistent in our efforts, because we cannot be sitting ducks in our neighborhoods, allowing criminals, allowing extremists, allowing terrorists, allowing bad people, hate mongers to really destroy us and destroy the quality of our life, destroy our relationships, and destroy our opportunity. We never ever allow such a thing. No matter what happens, no matter what the economic condition is, at least public safety must be maintained. Always. That is the number one prerequisite, for development. No public safety, no good development. That's why in poor neighborhoods where you have public safety problem, you don't find banks. You find, these check cashing and loan thing and, with high interest rates and whatever. They do not have financial institutions that will allow you to have good investment portfolios. They're not going to teach you investment opportunities. All they want to do is cash your check or give you a small loan for high interest rates and stuff like that, and because of public safety absence, bring that. So that's why we are consistent in making sure that we maintain public safety, regardless of who lives in the neighborhood. Some people think, oh, these people are this race, that race. No. We don't care about race or anything. We care about humanity. If people live there, then the place needs to be safe. And if people live there, then that place needs to provide them with the basic necessities of life. And that is our main focus, everything. So let me tell you our latest endeavor in relation to public safety. A couple of years ago, we envisioned of creating the largest volunteer-based peace building, public safety maintaining, resident-driven force. And we work hard in organizing it. And last November, it came to a fruition. We were successfully inaugurated. No, we have successfully inaugurated New York Peace Building Commission. November 30th, 2023 was the official inauguration of New York Peace Building Commission. And since we wanted to be the largest in the nation, we said we're gonna have 85,000 commissioners. How do we get that number? Well, the New York population was estimated about 8.5 million, give and take. We said we need 1% of the population to become peace builders, peacemakers. And that 1% will be equal to 85,000 New Yorkers from all walks of life, all background, all gender, all ages, whether they have criminal past or no criminal past, it doesn't matter. Who you are, who you were, doesn't matter. But once you become now a commissioner, then who you become and what you do and what you said and how you do things do matter. Because we do not want to be talking hypocrite. We said, oh, we're peace builders, but yet we're violent. Oh, we're truth teller, yet we're lying. Yeah, we want to maintain public safety, but yet we're committing crimes. Or we become, a spousal abuse, all these things. We don't want to do that. So therefore, whatever your past is, it wouldn't disqualify you. But the moment now you raise your hand and sworn in as a commissioner for New York Peace Building Commission, then everything you do thereafter matter to us. And if you are not suitable, then we cannot have you on board. The last thing we want is people to tell you, well, your commissioner, he's hypocrite or she's hypocrite. Because look at what he or she is doing to his or her spouse, or the children, or the community. Or look at the crime that he was part of. This person never changed. That we don't want to do. We want people to call us and say, we are so extremely blessed to have your commissioners around. They represent everything that we idealize. Every ideal thing of a good neighbor can be found within your commissioner. They represent harmony, love, peace, somebody that you can depend on their words and actions. They're trustworthy, they're bold, and they're visionaries. And they always find that which is beneficial to our neighbors, and then they lead to making sure that we actualize them. And when there's a threat to our safety or the quality of our lives, they're the first to identify it and then prevent it. Those are the commissioners that we want, and those are the commissioners that we will keep, because we don't want to say one thing and people know us for other things. Even our private lives matter, because sometimes you may think what you're doing is private, but these days it's very difficult to maintain any type of privacy. So be a righteous commissioner, left and right, up and down, day and night, in private and in public. Be a righteous commissioner. Then, we will love to keep you. So 85,000 peace building commissioners in New York, which amount to 1% of the population. We will change New York. We will maintain New York the safest big city in the nation. We will make New York a place where everybody's life is sacred and safe. Everybody's business is sacred and safe. And everybody's reputation is sacred and safe. So that we will done away with these violent criminal activities, with bias attacks, and with hates and divisions, and oppressing people because of who they are, what they look, how they worship, what their lifestyles are. We want to done away with it. We want to embrace our diversity, even if we disagree with people vehemently. Again, that disagreement should not lead us, to use it as a license to hurt them or to prevent them from actualizing their dreams. Theirs are theirs. Ours are ours. Yours is yours. None of us is licensed to interfere with the others' affairs, except to help them, to guide them, but never to force them or harm them or hurt them or hate them. Never ever. So New York Peace Building Commission will transform New York City. And by doing so, will transform our nation, because we cannot sustain the level of hatred, bias attacks, and violence and failures in our neighborhoods. We cannot. We cannot. We are one family, and we must be our brothers' keepers and our sisters' keepers. And we don't do it politically or financially. We do it altruistically. It's come from the heart, because we're saying, if I want to be safe and secure, I will make sure that my brothers and sisters across the street are safe and secure, so that together we can enjoy safety and security. But if you think that you're the only one that is entitled, or your family, or your children, or your parents, then you're crazy. That is where problem happens. And that is why a lot of times when there's a problem that affects the community, people begin to learn about each other, which should have taken place long. We should know each other, and so that when something happens, we can easily come together and do what is right. So now I'm going to end with this. I want you to watch this show every Sunday from 2 to 3, The Community Organizer on Parrot TV. I want you to watch it because every show will be different. We will be inviting guests from various fields of expertise, various backgrounds and various walks of life, people from all over the world. You know, the invitation is not limited to any regional, geography. It is a global platform because thank God now we have virtual, universal platforms that we can use to connect and communicate and make a huge impact in the lives of people that had never ever known our existence. We can do it. And I want you to continue to watch. And I also want you to continue, if you have things to say about, the show, please connect with us so that you could become, a regular guest to our show. Because the more people know about what they need to know, the better it is for them to live their lives successfully. Ignorance is the biggest obstacle to success and to life and to happiness and to everything else. Ignorance. Even people who are hurting other people, no matter how much they think they know, it is done out of ignorance. Why? Because they don't want to be hurt themselves. They don't want their families to be hurt. Every bad thing that they want to do to others, they do not want to do it to themselves. That is ignorance. That's more than hypocrisy. That's ignorance. But if you said, you know what, if I don't want to be hurt, why would I hurt other people? Because if I hurt other people, somebody else also will hurt me. Because whatever goes around comes around. So I want you to be a regular participant, a regular viewer, regular follower, regular member to this show. This show will be different, as we are different in most cases. So I just want you to know that. So you can, to know more about the show, you can call us on WhatsApp, which is free on WhatsApp, 718-892-5555. Again, only on WhatsApp so that you will not pay or we will not pay. It will be free and it will be global. WhatsApp number is 718-892-5555. Any question about the show, the producer and the host, and whether you want to be a guest or comment, give us a call. And we will make sure that your call or your calls are replied to, and whatever question you raise will be answered. And if there are issues that you want us to address, we'll address them. If we agreed on things, we'll do it together. If we disagree with you, we'll tell you our views and positions, and then that's it. That's how things work. Democracy. We want different views and different opinions, but we do everything professionally and lovingly. Our differences of views and opinions and positions should never lead us to animosity or to canceling each other's, dignity or respect, or the rights to be left alone. So, but I want to end with this. By the way, our email is thecommunityorganizer@gmail.com. thecommunityorganizer@gmail.com. That's our email. But let me end with this. As I was saying, some of the things that, we have been embarking on. So after 9/11, all of you who are older than 30 years, then you can testify to how the world has changed since 9/11. Just like those of you who are over 40 years old, you can testify to the fact that the internet has changed our world forever and ever and ever. The life before the internet age and the life now is completely different. Same thing with 9/11. 9/11 changed the world. Not New York, not United States, not America, but the world. And after 9/11, as community organizers, we went to work. As Muslim community organizers, we went to work in fixing what was wrong in our community. The radicalization messages being peddled, the extremist views, the divisiveness and everything. And we said, no, we're not going to be part of it. We're community organizers. We'll make sure that there's a platform to channel truth and truthful messages and fair and accurate and balanced media reporting. And we created our own Muslim Media Corporation. Muslim Media Corporation was created not to make money, not to be powerful, but to actually fix what was wrong with our Muslim community. If you are peddling falsehood, we want to we want to educate you. If you're hateful, we want to guide you. If you are extremist, we want to show you that is not Islam. And if you're violent, anti everything else, we want to show you the mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, commanded our prophet, to embody it. And that was the genesis and the catalyst for the creation of Muslim Media Corporation. Today, Muslim Media Corporation publishes 4 newspapers, 4 successful newspapers, because we are community organizers. So again, if you want to be part of our community organizing effort through the media, we also have that channel for you to be part of it, whether it's freelancer or intern or op-ed writer, whatever, we welcome you. This is a media, with activism. This is a media with activism. Muslim Media Corporation. You can Google it and you will see some of the newspapers that it publishes. And then wherever you are, we're more than happy to welcome you on board. Again, this is a media business, but it's a media business activism to fix what is wrong in our religious community, and also to amplify what is right, which is, I would say, 99% right, 1% wrong, because the extremism, terrorism, whatever, they're very, very small, but because their actions are so heinous, they represent the big chunk of the discourse concerning Muslims. We can't allow that. We cannot allow that. 2 billion Muslims worldwide, 99% of peaceful, peace-loving, harmonious, pious, family-oriented, family value-promoting people, be brought, categorized by 1% of these heinous crime committers, extremists, ignorant fools. We don't want to do that. That's why Muslim Media Corporation became, widely known and most effective in countering, the erroneous ideological doctrine of these violent extremists. So I just want to pull that to you. So on that vein, after 9/11, in creating a Muslim Media Corporation, now I'm going to end with the latest and perhaps the most prevalent issue facing Muslims and facing the world, which is the issue of Israel and Palestine, or Israelis and Palestinians. In the last several weeks and months, there has been a sustained death and destructions, coming out of the Holy Land. I mean, imagine Holy Land. A Holy Land must be a land that is so holy that every life and every value and every honor and every reputation and every fortune must be so protected, because it's the Holy Land. But unfortunately, the opposite is true, and we're very angry about it. So we're calling on those who can do something to do something, so that there will be a cessation of conflict. There will be a cessation of death and destruction, and there will be a cessation of animosity and hatred, and there will be finally a permanent establishment of peace and love and harmony and tranquility for both the Israelis and the Palestinians, so that none will face what they're facing now. None deserve to face what they're facing now, so that all of them will live, in peace and safety and security, so that their children will play wherever they want to play in peace and safety, so that nobody will be snapshotting other people. We want the Holy Land to be Holy Land, where lives and fortunes and dignities are protected because of the holiness of the land. This time is not the case, and everybody is saddened by it. And we want the hostages that are being held to be immediately released, unharmed, unquestioned, unconditional. Immediately release the hostages, so that the hostages will go back to their loving families who cannot wait to get them back in their respective homes and places. And immediately after releasing the hostages, we want an immediate ceasefire so that no more attack on either side. We want families in Gaza, in the West Bank, and Israeli families in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, in everywhere else, to also live in peace and safety and security, so that they will never be concerned about another group of Palestinian groups attacking them. We want peace and harmony in the Holy Land. We want, the hostages to be released today unharmed, without any condition attached to it, so that the ceasefire can be immediately effected, because we cannot continue to witness such a horrendous betrayal of the sanctity of life by holding people hostage, or by continuing, the death and destruction, taking place in Gaza and other places. Let these hostilities end now. Let the hostages be released. Let the Palestinians be able to survive, and let the Israelis feel safe and secure from harm from their neighbors. That is my message in Ramadan. That is my message in Purim, and that is my message, during Easter, during Holy. With all these religious holidays and observance together, I want to use them to say the Holy Land must be a holy land. And a holy land should not be a place where people lose their lives and their livelihood and their respect and dignity and honor and future and their children. A holy land should not be a land where hostages are held against their will, where Gazans cannot survive because of, a relentless bombing. We cannot have that as a holy land. Call it a death land. If you want to keep the holy land, then you got to make it holy. If you want to change it, then call it the death and destruction land, hateful land, miserable land. But if we're going to keep holy land, then it has to be a holy land. That is my message. And this is the fact. So with that being said, let us continue to unite. Let us continue to uplift each other, and let us continue to love one another, and let us continue to be each other's brothers and sisters keepers. The world is ours to enjoy, but we cannot enjoy it unless we are together for each other's upliftment, safety, and security. And that is the message of this soul, from here onward. We will use every second of this soul to promote love and harmony and peace and tranquility and togetherness, because we are one human family. We're diverse in our opinions and views and positions, how we look, how we worship, how we practice, what we want. But at the end of the day, we are one human family. We have the same blood. We have the same genes. If I need organ donor today, I'm not carrying the race or the gender or the ethnicity or the religiosity. If I need blood transfusion today, those criteria don't matter to me. I just need match. That's it, so I can survive. This is the factor, and this is what is important. Everything else are not important. We just make them important, but they are not. They're not real. So I thank you so much for following the Community Organizer Show on Parrot TV. I want you to continue to watch it every Sunday. If you want to be a guest, again, call us or email us so that we can continue to inform our fellow human beings for that which they need to know to live peaceful, joyous, successful lives. God bless you all. Again, my name is Sheikh Musa Drammeh. I am your host, and help me thank our executive producer Mutiu Olawuyi, behind the scene. Thank you, and see you next Sunday at 2 on Parrot TV.
In a world where the quality of information available to poorer communities is doctored, tainted, and sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions, It is vital to rely on news platform with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York Parrot, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your products and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York Parrot, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the website they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York State and around the world. Advertising on our new site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York Parrot is born to prosper.